I hope you listened very closely and carefully to Infinity Colour Shop there. It's amazing the kind of products that they have, and I know that when I go in there, it's just really nice to talk to Suzette and her team because they're so knowledgeable. If there's any question that you have, I'm telling you, they'll be able to answer that. And let me also say, I'm sure you've seen the Odd Jobs sign on the screen. Well, it's actually a new business called oddjobsslew.com. So if you see that, oddjobsslew.com, go there and you'll find, especially I find for women, it's a really great service because if there are any odd jobs around the house, anything that you want done, get your curtain poles up, something electrical, change a bulb that you can't reach, all kinds of things, they do it. So it's worth your while having a look at that site. You know, if you're elderly and you don't want to bother anyone or something, you know, happens, and you can trust these people. So read it, go there, read it, and it's a place to go. All right. And I've got some other things to read here. I'm going to read one or two, and then I'm going to just hand you back to Jamina for a little while because she seems to be quite chatty in the break. So I'm going to allow her to say all the things that she would like to say. We asked people before, as I said, do they lie? And some people say, well, yes, I have. And I believe that we all lie some way or another. Even if it is a total lie or a half lie, it's still a lie in the end. And some people claim if they are asked a question and the response is not the person's business, well, actually they're telling a lie. So they go on, and you have to remember, people, when you're sending me emails, I cannot read lots and lots and lots of them. I can get the gist. We've also had a lot of people telling us about having white lies continuously. They build up, which is what Angus rang in to say. Right. And I know that you have other bits that you'd like to say to me. I'm going to hand over to you.
During the break, I was commenting on the shirt here, and I was telling the gentleman that he has all his Jeanne Creole colors already. Yes. And commented and said that Sufra is actually having Jeanne Creole this year.
Yeah. So,
yes.
So when is everything? Because everything begins tonight. You're saying, or you're planning.
Jeanne Creole is next month is Creole month.
Yes.
And we're having activities from the 6th of October.
I hope you're not making fun of my shirt.
No, she wants to borrow it.
I would never.
It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, right.
Very nice shirt. I won't tell a white lie about your shirt.
Okay. Let me see if I can give you some more. I'm just trying to find them all on this. Now, people can give us a call. I'm trying to. There's so many of them. I'm trying to open the right ones for you. Again, all in all, telling one lie will lead to telling another, and the cycle continues. And then that little lie will eventually cause big problems. Let's have a look. Some more comments here. Sure. Some girls like to ask too many questions. Okay. Thou shalt not lie can be very hurtful, and the results can be deadly. Yeah, I think we've said all these things. I'd like to know what people think about Santa Claus. I've mentioned it, you know, but I'd like to see what people say.
Interesting.
Someone says, yes, I have lied, and all the lies have the same punishment in God's eyes. So all we have to do is to try and ask God to help us to lead a lie-free life. He alone can help us, but we can't always focus on it. All right, fair enough. But I mean, to me, you tell a lie. Why are you praying to God? You know, say sorry. Just don't do it again, or try not to do it. You know, or just I don't know. Someone said something to me, and I think as I get older, I try to. What's the word I'm trying to look at? I try to be as honest as I can using kinder words. I won't lie because I think that...
But you may not always tell the truth.
Very funny. No, I think that when we get to a certain age, right, we should know how to tell the truth. We shouldn't have to resort to a lie. I think when we are younger, it is more excusable to tell a lie. But as we're older, I think that we should be able to learn to be honest. Let's go back to the telephone line. Hello, welcome to the Law Factor Live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Jamina.
Hi, good evening. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes you don't want to tell a lie, but because, you know, especially when you go to the embassy. Sometimes you tell the truth,
All
and they
right.
don't give you the visa. And
Okay.
sometimes you tell them a pack of lies, and you get the visa. So it's not the best, but sometimes you have to get that.
Is that something you've experienced, Kola?
Yes.
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 I call her on the spot.
Yes.
Right, right.
people
So,
actually-
Time
yeah.
when I went up there, I
Right.
told them I was going for 2 weeks, and they didn't believe me. They said, well, you can spend all that money for 2 weeks, and that was the honest truth. And the second time I told them I was going to visit a friend of mine, she's pregnant, I'm going to surprise her. And they gave me the visa for 10 years.
Right.
So you see, the first time it was the truth, they didn't give it to me. The second time it was a lie. They gave me 10 years. So sometimes you don't want to tell a lie, but, you know,
So
the
would
way
you say-
society is.
So would you say lying was a good thing then?
No, I will never say lie is a good thing. But sometimes you have to use it to, you know, get what you want.
But you know, I think, for instance, that we're focusing on the lives of the individual, but there is a wider deception and wider lies perpetrated by, for instance, the multinationals, for instance, the tobacco companies, which for years and for decades tried to persuade people that there was not a connection between cigarette smoking and lung cancer.
Right.
When they managed to actually persuade the British government and the American government to spend over $30 million of taxpayers' money to try to find a safe cigarette, when all the scientific research showed that there is
I
no
know,
such
but
thing. So
I know, but at the
yeah.
same time, they have it on the packet. It's
right.
not good for your health.
Right.
But the problem is that we focused on this show on the lies of that individuals tell, but really the multi $1 million corporations are full of lies. Governments are full of lies and misrepresentations, and the colors that they give to the truth. And so I think we live in a lie-ridden society.
I know, but
Yeah.
we
And-
should not practice it.
But to survive in the economic world, I mean, even in business, you know, even practicing as a lawyer, if I put an advert and I said, listen, I'm only going to represent people who tell me the truth, my office would be empty.
I know, right? Okay, good evening.
All right. Thank you very
All right,
much.
bye.
Thank you very much. And leading off of what you were saying, Van Dyke, how can we, sometimes I think we teach our children to tell a lie without even realizing that we're
Yes.
asking them. So a good
Yes.
example of that could be when the phone rings and you say to them, tell them I'm not home.
Yes.
Well, I did that with one of my nieces, and she said, Uncle Van, what should I tell them? When did you leave?
So we do things like that. Am I right in saying quite innocently we do that? But then really we're teaching the children to lie.
Yes.
Or we're teaching them about life. We're teaching them that there are some circumstances, there are some situations where it's good to lie.
We're teaching them to lie.
But it may not necessarily be a bad thing. It may be a survival technique.
No, you know what no. I think that may be the case, but we have to turn that round. All right. So let's try and turn this round for our
Okay.
viewers. So we tell our viewers now. We may be saying that to our children, but let's not say that anymore. Let's don't ask our children to tell that kind of lie. Let's tell our children to say, mommy or daddy or uncle or auntie, they're here, but they said they'll call you back.
Oh, they're busy.
Oh, they're busy. So instead of saying, tell them I'm not there, let's see if we can at least try and do that, because we're not telling a lie. You don't have to tell the child, I don't feel like speaking to them anymore at the moment. Just say, I'll give them a call back, or just tell them I'm busy. What do you think? Do you think that that's being responsible and stopping the lie?
Supposing you have a situation where you have an abusive father and the mother's in the house, and the father's calling to find out whether the mother's in the house, and the mother's terrified and says, you know, hey, don't tell daddy I'm home.
Well, that is a very good point.
So-
You know, that is a very good point. And maybe
So-
if someone is at that kind of, in that kind of situation,
Yeah.
that's a cry for help. It means you need to
Yeah.
do something. You not make
So-
your child lie. 'Cause
I think the point that you're really trying to make to the viewers is, look, as adults, we have a responsibility to our children, and we have a responsibility to our children to teach them that honesty is the best policy, and that they should respect the truth as much as possible. And if we, through our actions or through our behavior, teach the child otherwise, we should at least make a note of that and call the child and say, look, I asked you to tell a lie on the phone, but really it was wrong.
Well, you own up to it, essentially. Okay.
So,
great point.
part of
Van
being the
Dyke.
truth.
Well, we're going for our final break. If you have any more comments, you know where to send them. Of course, this is DBS. We'll be right back.